Hello fellow gamers, it's your boy Zero Inc. and I'm back with another Kickshot angle discussion, and today I want to talk about Destiny. And the reason why I want to talk about Destiny before the review, because I am coming out with the review myself, because I think a lot of things were missed in a lot of reviews, and a lot of people were jumping on the bandwagon. A lot of people are hating it just to hate it, because a lot of fans are upset that they didn't get what they wanted. So anyway, here's the thing about Destiny. This is what bugs me about reviewers nowadays, critics, and people who think they know games. Go to school and learn how hard it is to program. Learn how hard it is to 3D map. Learn how hard it is to do what these companies do. Everyone thinks that it's just like you slap it on, they're professionals, you know, it all comes together the way it should and everything else like that. And as with anything electronic, that's not the case. A lot of people are talking about Destiny's thing they just put out, where they're talking about the strike missions were bugged and they didn't expect people to use the loot cave the way they did. They also patched the Queen's Wrath. Basically, you could keep going to the Queen's Wrath and then you break down the Queen's Wrath armor and you'd put the shards on the armor you're wearing. So they made a lot of patches and they made a lot of changes, and people are taking it the wrong way. They go, you know, Q&A, it's like Bungie wanted to build their own game, and that's what they did. Yeah, that's what creators should do. They shouldn't listen to Q&A. They should listen to glitches, and they should listen to bugs, and they should listen to stuff like that. But as a gamer, it's your job to play the game. It's not your job to create it. So why are you demanding certain things from devs? The devs are the creator of the game. They get to create whatever they want. You can either enjoy that damn game or you can not enjoy that damn game. It's really up to you, and it's up to your mindset on whether you're going to enjoy this game or not. If you go into a game listening to all the hype and everything else, it will never live up. Ever. Ever. But what bugs me is when Titanfall gets an 8 and it had no content extra. And I'm not saying Titanfall's a bad game. Far from it. I'm not saying Rise is a bad game. But Rise was repetitive as hell. Was short as hell. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the storyline didn't come together like we hoped in Destiny, but the expansion's coming out in December. I believe I've covered that too. Obviously, no one's talking about when the expansion's supposed to come out, so I guess everybody missed TGS. This is what I'm talking about, dude. Omissions, lies, reviewers coming out and saying, we should not allow this, we should not allow this. Really? You guys are causing the gaming crash. The reason why gaming didn't crash before is because gamers decided to just play games for the fun of it. When you go into a game looking for problems, you're ultimately going to find those problems in any game you play. And this is what I've noticed a lot of reviewers and a lot of people are doing, is they're purposely going into games finding problems so they can give a review rather than playing the game and giving the review based off their experience. And this is a big problem in the reviewing scene. You know, I mean, everyone talks about, oh, the hype train is terrible, but so are reviewers. Reviewers are terrible. Like, perfect example, I go back to Army of Two Devils Cartel was given a 6 by GameSpot and IGN, and like a lot of fucking people hated that game. But I played it and I actually enjoyed that game a whole lot. My brother played it, enjoyed that game a whole lot. Everybody we've recommended it to has enjoyed that game more than 40th Day, yet every review you go to gave Devil's Cartel a garbage rating. This is what I'm talking about. Money is buying ratings. Hype is buying ratings. People who just want to bitch and complain and whine and cry that they didn't get what they want are reviewing games, and we're supposed to listen to people who don't seem like gamers to me. Like, if you're going into a game not actually enjoying it, just looking for problems, or rating a game based on your own personal opinion. This is why Siskel and Ebert were such good critics. I got to admit, the storyline in Destiny was really, really short. So it's probably going to get a 4 or 5 out of 10. The storyline is. What holds it up is the gameplay is a 10 out of 10. The graphics in it were held back, so I can only give that an 8 out of 10. But you see where I'm going? If you go through all facets of the game, there are different facets of the game that hold the game up. And there's no way it's a 6.0. Its average should be around 76, should be around 7.6, should be around 8, around there. That's what this original installment of the game should be. Now, again, for those of you who don't know, the expansion's coming out in December. And for all those people who turned in the game, and for all those people who are not getting the game at its release, I feel sorry for you, because if you don't know what an MMO is, here's what an MMO is. It's progressive. So it's going to get better with time, just like Warframe did. Warframe started out with not very much. There's a lot of games that start out with not very much, and then they progress, and they progress, and they progress. This is how MMOs are built, and they've been built this way for a long, long time. They get better with expansions. They get better with updates. This was a base, and at its core, Destiny does a lot of things right. And this is what nobody is covering. They're not covering this as an MMO. They're covering this as a game you would go buy off the shelf and play for 8 hours, which that's not what Destiny is. So it confuses me, especially people who consider themselves seasoned MMO players. You guys are seasoned MMO players. You know the deal. You know the deal. And not only that, people don't realize that when you're making a game this big, there are such things as oversights. Bugs. You know, bugs that you were planning on fixing got lost in all the other stuff you added to the game. These are called oversights. They're not purposely put in the game to fuck with you. They're not a mess up. They're an oversight. They're an accident. People are human. They're gonna make accidents. They're like, oh, well, they knew. They knew that this was bugged. Yeah, they did. But they probably knew it was bugged during the beta at some point and then forgot about it as they were cleaning up the game. And this happens in programming all the time. So it confuses me why everybody is jumping on that bandwagon too. It's not easy to program games. So anyway, I gotta end it here, but I'll talk about this in another part too. Rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.